Hey everyone, welcome to another installment of Harry Potter Theory. Today we'll be discussing the history of the infamous wizarding dynasty, the Gaunt family. This prominent pureblood magical family is sometimes also referred to as the House of Gaunt. You may remember hearing the name here or there over the course of the Harry Potter series, but if you're having trouble putting your finger on why the name sounds so familiar, allow me to remind you. This once proud and powerful dynasty is the ancestral family of the Dark Lord himself, Voldemort. Let's start from the beginning, the early history of the Gaunt family. With a long and dark history, known details of the Gaunt family can be traced back as far as the 1600s. The most notable member of the family at this time was a witch named Gaunt. Intent on preserving the family's pure-blooded lineage, it is said that she murdered multiple members of her family in order to accomplish this. From there, the Gaunt's family history doesn't get much brighter. Throughout the centuries, the House of Gaunt was largely involved in keeping the Chamber of Secrets protected from discovery within the walls of Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You may have found yourself wondering how such an ancient chamber had been kept hidden for so many centuries. Well, the Gaunt family is the answer. In fact, one OMINIS Gaunt, a student at Hogwarts during the 1700s, was given credit for keeping the chamber concealed during his time as a pupil, while a new plumbing system was installed within the castle. The next couple of minutes of the video contain loose spoilers pertaining to Hogwarts Legacy. Specifically, these spoilers address characters Noctua and OMINIS Gaunt, notable Gaunt family members in the game. Nothing major, but I thought I'd give you guys a heads up. I'll put a timestamp in the pinned comment for if you want to skip this section and move on to the rest. In the 1800s, there were a few members of the family who could have offered the House of Gaunt a redemptive narrative. Alas, it was not to be so. Noctua Gaunt was one of the few members of the family dynasty to oppose the Gaunt's excessive use of the dark arts. As it were, she wanted to learn more about Salazar Slytherin's legacy, in order to uncover his true views on the wizarding world. In her search for answers, Noctua discovered a secret entrance within Hogwarts to Slytherin's scriptorium, a small study containing Salazar Slytherin's personal property, including his own spellbook and his diary. It is said that this diary contained an entry that described Slytherin's disagreement with fellow founding member of Hogwarts, Godric Gryffindor, regarding the acceptance of Muggleborns to the school. The diary also apparently mentioned the Chamber of Secrets, the Serpent of Slytherin, and Salazar's pureblood supremacist views. All of this, however, was hidden behind several layers of complex puzzles, which included a door that required Parseltongue to open. One of the final doors is said to have only opened if the witch or wizard who desired access used the Cruciatus Curse, which would only work if they had someone to perform the curse on. Being a Gaunt, Noctua was able to speak Parseltongue to enter the scriptorium, but as she entered it alone and did not have anyone to perform the Cruciatus Curse on at the final door, she was trapped inside, never to be seen alive or heard from again. By the end of the 19th century, the Gaunts were still obsessed with maintaining a pureblood family lineage, believing that mudbloods and muggles were beneath them. In fact, many, if not all members of the Gaunt family, would routinely perform the Cruciatus Curse on unsuspecting muggles just for fun. It was around this time, in the late 1880s, that an OMINIS Gaunt attended Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. OMINIS had a reputation within his family for refusing to perform the Cruciatus Curse for sport, as so many of his relatives did. Sadly, his refusal to join in on the fun resulted in OMINIS's own torture, which was performed by his immediate family, his mother and father included. The magical torture bestowed upon OMINIS Gaunt by his family is rumored to have made him blind and, as you may have suspected, resulted in him breaking all ties with the House of Gaunt. And yet, when he attended Hogwarts, OMINIS, alongside a few of his friends, followed in his aunt Noctua's footsteps and entered Slytherin's scriptorium, arguably to find answers about his ancestors. Tragically, all he found here were Noctua's remains. It is believed that he only narrowly escaped himself due to his companions performing the Cruciatus Curse on each other in order to open the final door. Notable members of the House of Gaunt's family tree. The Gaunts were known descendants of both Salazar Slytherin and Cadmus Peverell. Salazar Slytherin was, of course, one of the 4 founding members of Hogwarts. Cadmus Peverell, on the other hand, was one of the 3 fabled brothers to have received gifts from death in the wizarding fairy tale, The Tale of 3 Brothers, found in the book of the Tales of Beedle the Bard. Cadmus was the brother rumoured to have been gifted the Resurrection Stone, a stone that could bring loved ones back from the dead, and was referred to as one of the 3 Deathly Hallows. With famous ancestors like these, the Gaunts were so intent on keeping their bloodline pure that they often married their own cousins. This, of course, makes the House of Gaunt's family tree a little complicated. The following witches and wizards, however, are some of the most notable within the family. Gormla Gaunt lived in the 1600s and is said to be possibly the most evil witch to have ever lived. At one point in her life, she possessed Salazar Slytherin's wand. Rhianna Gaunt was Gormla's sister and mother to Isolde Sayre, who co-founded the American Ilvermorny School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Corvinus Gaunt lived in the 1700s and, as mentioned earlier, helped conceal the Chamber of Secrets while he was a student at Hogwarts. Noctua and OMINIS Gaunt were alive in the 1800s. Both rebuked the views of their family and entered the secret Slytherin scriptorium while attending Hogwarts. Marvolo Gaunt lived in the 1900s and was the maternal grandfather of Tom Riddle, who of course later became Lord Voldemort. Marvolo possessed a signet ring which, unbeknownst to him, had the Resurrection Stone set inside, as it had once belonged to Cadmus Peverell. Evidently, Tom Riddle was also unaware of the ring's true nature, as he used it as one of his many Horcruxes. Merope Gaunt, daughter of Marvolo and mother of Tom Riddle, was an incredibly mistreated witch who is said to have seduced an unsuspecting muggle into a romantic relationship, the result being her unwanted son, Tom. While pregnant with Tom, Merope stole the Gaunt family heirloom, Slytherin's locket, and sold it to support herself. Years later, Tom used the locket as another one of his Horcruxes. Morfinn Gaunt was the son of Marvolo and brother of Merope. He was also the last of the House of Gaunt lineage, and when he died, so did their family's dynasty. House of Gaunt family traits. Being a member of the House of Gaunt pretty much guaranteed that the witch or wizard would possess certain traits or qualities, the most prominent of which was the family's ability to speak Parseltongue, the rare talent of communicating with serpents and snakes. It is said that the preservation of this unique trait was one of the reasons that the dynasty encouraged inbreeding. Many of the family members were also completely pureblood until the 20th century. Attempts to keep their lineage pure is another reason for the many instances of inbreeding within the House of Gaunt. Sadly, this practice led to some substantial mental instability in later generations of the family. The Gaunt family legacy. As the last known descendants of Salazar Slytherin, the Gaunts were proud members of the Sacred 28, the pureblood directory of the wizarding world's supposed most pure-blooded magical families. It's fairly safe to say that the legacy that the House of Gaunt wished to preserve for themselves was a powerful pureblood wizarding dynasty. Most members had similar hateful views of those wizarding families with non-magical blood, and they were more than cruel in their treatment of muggles. Throughout the centuries, the family primarily resided in their ancestral home in northern England, just outside of Little Hangleton. At one point in time, the Gaunt family is said to have had much gold, but as they enjoyed living quite extravagantly, they were eventually left penniless. In what became an incredibly run-down shack, Morfinn Gaunt, the last of the Gaunt lineage, lived and died in squalor and destitution. This is supported by a passage describing Morfinn's father, Marvolo Gaunt, in The Half-Blood Prince. He, as you saw, was left in squalor and poverty, with a very nasty temper, a fantastic amount of arrogance and pride, and a couple of family heirlooms that he treasured just as much as his son, and rather more than his daughter. And with that, we've come to the end of another video. What did you think? Did I miss any notable moments in the House of Gaunt's family history? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And, as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, remember, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live.